Alright. What the hell's going on, everybody? And welcome back. We've got ourselves a big best of 5. It's the ESL EU number 218 weekly grand finals between Clem in the top left and the man that he's been bullying for the last couple of weeks, REYNOR, in the bottom right side. It's been a few 3-1 victories in a row for Clem. And REYNOR, no doubt, is working away, grinding. He said he's going to be playing 3 or 4 hours a day, pretty much every day. Enough that he doesn't feel he can really be getting burnt out playing that much, but if he does it consistently all year long, essentially, maybe with the occasional day off here or there, he's going to be able to keep improving and get back into the rhythm, because the last year or so he's been sporadic, you know, a month or two of grinding non-stop and then months of just playing tournaments but not really practicing and kind of chilling out, and then a few months of grinding the game and no lifing it. So he was burning himself out. He was struggling to perform. He had a very he was very upset about his performance at Katowice. Felt like he didn't live up to his own expectations of himself, and said, "Hey, like, it's the lowest of lows." He feels terrible about it. You know, he's kind of upset that he didn't put himself in the best position to win that tournament, even though he cared so much about it, and that he's putting too much pressure on his own shoulders by doing this kind of like, I'm just going to grind right before a tournament and expect to win. You know, he was trying to cram top tier StarCraft preparation that it does not work so well. We'll see what he's got in store for us, see if REYNOR's evolved at all. We're going to be starting on Oceanborn, of course, a great Terran map. And Clem playing quite safe, going for an SCV scout to start the series. Good choice, because it's a small map, so Lings can get over here pretty fast, number one. Number two, not only can Lings get over here, but, well, it's your map pick, so play safe on your map pick, because it's more likely Zerg will do some sort of cheeky all-in. And he's going to see the hatchery first. He knows from the creep spread that's a very early hatchery, so it is a 15 hatch, 15 pool. And interestingly, here, REYNOR has actually got 3 workers on gas. Now, he doesn't see any wall off. Does he pull off gas reactively? No, he's still going to make link speed. Interesting. So normally with this build, REYNOR only puts 1 worker on gas, and then if he sees like 2 barracks Reaper, he'll put extra workers on. But in this case, he's put workers on from the start, so he's clearly going, you know what, I'm just going to get that gas up. And with it being so early, definitely could be for link speed. I would imagine it is, since he'd pulled off minerals for it. Yeah, there we go. So, okay, so it's 3rd queen into link speed, into 4th queen after he cancels that spore crawler trick. Nice. Okay, so it's a 4-queen link speed opening. He's building an overlord now. Of course, he's got a little bit of lava sitting there while he's waiting for the overlord. And I think he's not going to build in another overlord until after he builds the 8 drones. Because you see what's happening here, right? He's got 2 lava, but these injects are going to pop. And he does build another overlord, but that one pops. Both lava injects pop out, and you can see how this is timed out. So now he's not supply blocked, and bam. 2 Zerglings, 5 drones, and he should be actually putting 4 Lings. Why is he putting 4 Lings this early, though? That's kind of odd. Maybe trying to use them to escort a drone to the 3rd base, but that was a great snipe by Clem. Already gets a creep tumor. And Clem's going Cyclones after a 3rd command center. So 1 gas Cyclone into a 2nd barracks. 2 Cyclone, 2-1-1. Oh, okay. I don't know if I mean, I've seen this off 2 racks opening, of course, because you've already got the 2 barracks, but it's an interesting version. 2nd gas does go down for Clem behind this. He's not able to get that next creep tumor down. 3 queens are in the front. Extra creep tumors going down. 1 creep tumor in the main doing pretty well. Slight gapping creep there, but queens can pretty easily pass over that. And this is mass Zergling. So REYNOR's doing something very cheeky. 3rd base finally goes down at about 3:30. He's got a 2nd gas on the way. Mass Zergling building. Oh, does he maybe just expect the Cyclone build? So if he just surrounds the first few Cyclones, that's pretty big. He's already going around the map. Roachhorn goes down. Yeah, REYNOR's going to try and backstab with Zerglings, get SCV kills, and then he's going to look to try and sneak a bunch of Roaches out and do a big Ravagerling attack. It's a big all-in for REYNOR. Will it work out? 2 Hellions are about to pop. The Marines do get trapped on the outside. SCVs are going to try and fight with them, I believe, to help protect the Marines. Oh, Hellions behind the ramp, actually doing great. Oh, yeah, the SCVs take some damage, but as the Hellions come down, they'll clean up these Lings. And only 4 SCVs go down, not too bad. Lost 2 Marines, bought 10 Zerglings. Pretty similar in the units trading. More Lings going to go across. So his job now, with that Roachhorn only now come out, it's not the fastest Ravager Ling. He's looking to hide what he's doing. And he's going to do that with another Ling backstab, which there's no Hellions building. Oh no, there's no Hellions building. He's only got 1 Marine at home. Okay, Clem's in huge trouble right now. He was not expecting a 2nd wave Lings are going to try and surround the Cyclones. Maybe a bit cavalier there. The Lings not getting a good trade, but on the other side of the map, Lings in the natural and in the main at the same time. Those SCVs need to fight. Clem needs to fight. He's focused on the front. He does take down the Queens, but this is an overcommitment, man. He's losing so many SCVs at home. His production is in big trouble. He's trying to build Marines a few at a time, but he's got to get that wall off up. He needs another depot or something to wall off. He doesn't quite have the money. There's more units coming across the map right now. Finally, he reestablishes control, but look at this. He's missed the roaches moving out, and that's exactly what REYNOR wanted to hide here. So REYNOR, it's a Ling flood into a Ling flood into a sneaky mass Ravager Ling attack. These Lings could come back and kill these guys if he wants to, but he doesn't even need to. Those guys are going to have to return home to defend. Clem is realizing something's up. He's seen that third is naked. He's starting to head home now, but he's in huge doo-doo. He's got 4 Marines. Oh my god, he's about to have a few more popping, but that is still a massive issue. Lings come around. If he can surround the Hellions, that's going to be great. Almost all the Hellions are gone. Only 1 Cyclone and Hellion left. The Lings will trap that down eventually, and a few Marines with Stim on the high ground will not be enough. REYNOR, with some well-planned aggressive waves, gets Clem and steals his map off him. Beautiful play there from Basilisk's REYNOR. That was really well done. And he's going to go 15-15 again. So he's favoring that opening. Clem in the top left side now of Equilibrium, finding himself on the Zerg map. However, as much as it is the Zerg map, we've seen Clem look unbreakable in the late game. I mean, I used to think, oh, the bases are kind of spread apart, but there's so much distance from the Zerg side to the Terran side, and you've got these nice ledges in front of the gold base. You've got these kind of walls that you can put tanks behind, these bits of terrain, and it's enough to obstruct the Zerg multi-prong to the point where we've seen multiple times the Zerg struggle to get through. What is this? Guys, is that a 14 pool? It's a very early spawning pool. He built this 23 seconds ago, right on 30 seconds. That's a 14. Okay, so it was a 15 pool. So he's gone into a 14 hatch? What? Oh, wow. This is a Ragnarok build order. And now he builds the Overlord. Okay. Okay, so it's 15 pool, 14. So he builds, and then, he goes 14 hatchery, builds a drone, builds an Overlord. And he'll go back to more drones soon. Or maybe, I guess he's just going Zerglings? He's got 3 lava. The Overlord doesn't time out perfectly with it, but it's still pretty quick, these Lings. 6 Lings on the way. And I guess he goes for a Queen now. Yeah, okay. That's a pretty big commitment. So this is basically saying, look, Clem scouted game 1. He's not going to scout game 2 on my map. Last thing he's going to expect is aggression. He builds another 2 Zerglings? 8 Lings. Oh, but Clem is scouting. Oh, Clem's playing really safe. Okay, maybe they played on the ladder a bunch recently, and Clem realizes that Rain is playing a lot of cheeky strats. Droning now starts behind it. Already down 5 workers. Command center, of course, going up on the natural. And as long as Clem keeps that Reaper at home, he's going to be able to pick off those Lings. But it'll take a while to kill 8 Zerglings. These Lings go south, making sure they don't get spotted by the SCV. Sees the hatcheries late. Reaper will have to stay at home. Where is that Reaper? He's going north. He's trying to hunt for these. What's he doing? Why is he still moving out of the map? You saw that's a late hatchery. Clem! What? That hatchery is super duper. I guess it was close enough to a hatchery first timing that it tricked him. But surely that hatchery was a few seconds later. Was it though? 14 hatchery? Yeah, I mean, it was. I guess it looked like a 16 hatchery. Oh! REYNOR made it look like a 16 hatchery. So it's tricked Clem. That's why the Reaper moved across the map. I thought Clem was just being a greedy silly boy. Oh, Clem's going to lose that Marine in the main. There's still an SCV. Yeah, Zergling will get the Marine in the main. Reaper down here does pick off 2 of these Zerglings. Oh, the SCV! Barely keeps it alive. Dude, Clem's micro is insane. Getting the reactor would be huge, though. Yeah, he's going to kill the reactor. That's big. That's big. Reactor does get sniped, but the Reaper does defend. Oh, good split, good split. SCV needs to go to the right, but oh, that red hit point Zergling's a problem. It's a problem. Oh my god, he's safe. No! The Zergling barely gets it. That does delay the command center a lot. A new SCV heads down. The reactor was sniped. This was a good disruption and good damage. And you know what? When the SCV arrives, on a normal map, it should be the hatchery is just finishing as your SCV gets there, which is when your Reaper pops for a hatchery first. So I didn't even put that together. I was like, surely the SCV scout sees this. But actually, REYNOR was counting on him just seeing the hatchery timing and then turning around with the SCV. So he designed a little build order here specifically to have a hatchery start at about 48 seconds, I imagine, because it was 30-second spawning pool, about 18 seconds later for the hatchery. Yeah, I think that times out. I'll check the replay at the end of this game. Such a clever build to kind of Just throw Clem off his game, disrupt his build, make it a little bit less perfect. And look at this. He's not gone third command center. He's actually going Hellion Banshee. He's built 2 Hellions on their own because he was waiting for the reactor. So he's got 2 Hellions and a Reaper. And is going to now start his double Hellion production. Third command center at 4 minutes. I mean, Reynor's third is delayed. It's not like he's... often after these builds, you're not really directly, cleanly, obviously ahead. You've just messed up their build enough that it is like a situation where in the follow-up, you often see people get fired. And that creep trim is cool because as this creep trimmer gets creep around this edge, that's going to blossom down to the low ground. So I don't think it spreads there until there's a bit of creep like over here, and then it'll all start spreading from that ledge. But it needs something within its radius to connect to down here. So probably this creep on the left, when it gets in range to about there, that's when this tumor will be able to actually spread to the low ground. So he may have gone for it a bit too early. Yeah, just conservative creep spread for now, making sure he doesn't get sniped. Good moves. Cloak's on the way behind for Clem. His first Banshee's in the north of the map. Queens are getting little bits of damage here and there. Good queen split for Reynor as well. You just have to be careful, because if he goes like 8 Hellions and brings the 2 Banshees in, you don't want your queens to get caught out. Ling Run by coming in. Reynor's playing like a proper D-bag. I love it. It's what you want to do in StarCraft. Sometimes people get angry at me when I go, oh, he's being such a dick. You know, he's being so hard to play against. People go, what the hell? Shouldn't you be respectful? And I'm like, mate, that's the most respect you can give someone in StarCraft. If you're playing like a D-bag, that means you are playing really good StarCraft. Banshee comes in, gets 4 kills, makes it 5. Okay, the Spore Crawler a little late. He does take 5 drones. Normally, 4 for 5 is very good for Zerg, because Zerg has like way more worker production, but it's quite a few Zerglings that have gone down. It was 8 in the early game, another 10 just went down. Units lost tab is in favor of Clem. Game's still pretty damn even. Reynor with a 10 worker advantage is not that special. Lair, Baneling Nest on the way. Should be going extra gases as he tries to get to that gold hatchery. And the second gas goes down now. Double eBay after second and third barracks. He's got the 3 barracks producing. Reactor there. Double medevac marine pressure isn't going to hit for a while. It's always very delayed when you go Hellion Banshee. But, oh, he's getting the high energy queen focused down. She goes down just before the transfuses can come in. You gotta watch out though, that Overseer is gonna finish in a few seconds. Great pullback timing by Clem. Look at that, calculating exactly how much he can get. Even grabs a drone there on the way out. Could grab another one. There's one in the open. Yeah, presents itself by going to the back of the mineral line, that silly drone. Much like your parents tell you not to cross the road as a child without holding your hand. They also tell the drones, don't go mining behind the minerals, and in general, don't go mine the minerals at all when there's enemy nearby. The drones don't learn until they've actually got a few backlash rockets to the face. Luckily, they've got collective memory, the Zerg, so one of them dies, learns a lesson. The other ones nearby pick it up as well. I don't know if that's actually in the lore. I'm just saying that because I like it to be that way. I think it should be that way, and therefore it is that way. I'm one of these people who creates the canon in their mind, for those who don't know. I saw a great YouTube comment the other day, not even on my channel, just on something else. It was a video. I was watching a video about the Alien series and like how downhill, you know, some of the movies went and everything, and what went wrong with the production of some of them. And it was really interesting because there's people like in the comments, they're like, oh, everything after Aliens isn't canon. You know, there were only 2 official films. The rest is just fan fiction. Like, and I always say the same thing. I'm like, Game of Thrones stopped at like season 5 or something like that. You know, Star Wars is still just the original 3 movies. Like, I'm a big believer in that. But it was so funny. There was a guy in the comments who was like, oh yeah, you guys, oh, is it ruining your life that, oh, there's something in the story that you don't like? It was like the most masterful trolling / ignorant jock that I've ever seen, and it was like him arguing with 400 people in the comments, and it made me deeply happy. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about that. Baneling Run by coming in. Ooh, gets a bit of splash, but mostly just clearing up Hellions, and I think that's an okay trade for Clem. As annoying as Reynor is being, Reynor is still in the on 69 workers. Oh, so he's actually playing Massling Bane, guys. He's trying to basically overwhelm Clem. This is a really good start because Clem's so aggressive. There's a good chance his next medevacs come out. These guys move across the map, tries to start doing 2-prong pressure. You roll a ton of Banelings and Lings in. The trick is you go in from this southern angle here, but there is a Widow Miner spotting for it, unfortunately. And you try to blow up the depot, get in there, and then split a few Lings and Banes into the third. If you can kill both mineral lines while defending at home, then you're going to be good. Now you might be wondering, well, how can you defend at home at the same time? He has to cut workers here. If he went up to his normal 85 workers, he couldn't do this. But because he's stuck sitting at 68, He's just making way more Lingbane than he needs to defend right now, so that he can both defend and attack at the same time. This is what I was talking about. When the next medevacs come out, you know Clem's going to push, because Clem's such an aggressive guy. And Clem gets hit by Banelings. Oh, not watching. Loses about 7 Marines there. Widowmine is going to spot this. That's going to give him warning. But at the same time, jumping on him in the middle, Clem does focus down that Banelings. But that means he's not watching at home, which means this Lingbane is going to cause him issues. He tries to spread backwards. The Banshee's coming over. The Lingbane comes in. I would like to see him spread some Lingbane to the right. He's just going to go into the natural. Great spreadies by Clem. Honestly, amazing crisis management. I don't know if this is going to get enough damage. Remember, Clem can lose 10, 20 workers and still be fine. He's on 3 command centers with a 4th one building over there. Oh, Ling's running in the 3rd, though. Clem, a little slow to run away. He's got to run those to his natural. Oh, he does now, but there's Banelings! There's Banelings! If the Banelings turn right! Oh! Okay, yeah, 1 good Baneling gets off. A few SCVs survive, but a lot of them do fall. And a bunch of the Widow Mines go down as well. 20 SCVs go down. Not the most cost-efficient trade, but Reynor's on a gold base with the purple gas mining. That's another thing that jumpstarts this. Defending this base is so awkward and hard. If he goes 85 drones, he's kind of taking losing trades. And even though he took not the greatest trade, he killed a lot of Terran workers. Terran is much slower to rebuild those than Zerg. That being said, Clem says, you know what? You're going to be aggressive. You're going to blow your wad on that. I'm just going to take a 4th on the gold. His 2-2 is also way ahead. Reynor stopped on 1-1. That was a very committed attack. He's now droning up, going Hydra Den, Overlord speed. Reynor's playing a very tricksy style, but I don't know if he's really found enough damage for it to pay off just yet. Biomine on the south. Random stray Baneling just up to the north there. Queenling Bane coming forward. Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, does clean up most of those Widow Mines. Only 1 decent shot got off. Good pullback, though. I think Reynor may be chasing a bit too far. He agrees. He pulls back to the right side. Oh, he's only got 2 Banelings. Oh, God. Oh, God. Reynor, careful. Don't go in there. You don't have enough Banelings. He's got to try and bait Clem into the focus fire, but no, there we go. Finally holds on. 5th base up north is mining as well. Oh, sorry, that's the 6th base. This is his 5th base down here. So 6th base, Zerg, Macrohatch goes down. Reynor's been floating a fair bit of money this last minute. So he's realizing, oh, God, throw a Macrohatchery down. I've missed some injects. Especially with the gold base. Your income gets kind of crazy kind of fast. Lingbane's going to roll forward. Widowmine's trying to burrow on the front line. Gets one of them. Ooh, other one gets a good shot, though. 13 Zerglings go down. Planetary is fully saturated, and it looks like going up to 8 barracks right now is Clem. He's just got a few more tech labs, a few more reactors. And ooh, Widowmine gets a decent shot, but a few Marines getting trapped on the low ground. Clem evacuates 4 of them with the hot pickup. Slick moves. On the north, Banshee comes in, gets 3 drones, pulls back. Clem still using his Banshees to be as annoying as possible. Sorry for the awkward camera rotation. There was a Baneling that almost got on the Marines. Oh, this fight could turn really bad for Reynor. Oh, but when he's got a Baneling, he gets a Baneling in. He gets a Baneling in. A lot of Hydras died. I don't know how many. 5. But he does break Clem's position. Units Lost tab tells us it's a 4,000 resource difference between the two. Trading's looking good for Clem. But he has to keep getting his economy established. He's got a 5th command center building on location. He's on 8 barracks now, as you can see in that structures tab. His 3-3's underway concussive. Meanwhile, Reynor hasn't started an infestation pit. So this is getting scary, because if Reynor doesn't get a good fight right now, he's not doing run-bys anymore. The sensor towers and Widow Mines everywhere are making it really hard for him to do that. And he's taking losing trades on the front, which, I mean, they're not like game losing, but I mean, like, he's over time, he'll get worn down. He's kind of got to do something because he's so committed to lair attack. Like, he's not got the infested burrow or anything. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, he does realize that Widow Mine's there. Oh, if that pack of Banelings rolled into that, that would have been very painful. There's another Widow Mine beyond it, which may catch him out. He's distracted in the north, which means, yep, Widow Mine gets a big smear on those Zerglings. Widow Mine gets a few Zerglings, but it does get cleaned up. Double drop into the main base, Clem being a nuisance. Widow Mine's in the center, take out a few queens. I don't think that's the worst thing. He's still got 10 queens. You could argue Reynor has too many queens already in this game. Trades a few Banelings to get that Widow Mine before it can fire. Marines take out the Macro Hatchery. You're gonna keep floating money, boy. +1 ranges on the way, as well as Hydra upgrade number 2, the Groove Spines. And the Marines do get pushed back by the Lingbane. Infestation Pit finally starts, but what a delay on it. Meanwhile, we've got an extra command center building. So we are going to start to see orbital command centers as well as extra planetaries going up for Clem, which will cement his position in this game. Few Widow Mines down south getting some decent shots. Reynor trying to defuse them, but there's Bio covering it, which means he has to give up on that effort. Marines in the north at the same time. Ghost transitions on the way. If Clem gets a few more command centers up while continuing to hold the middle of the map, you can see it's a losing prospect. 5,500 resource advantage. Widow Mines. Oh, that one got a bunch of Banelings. Very nicely done. And he gets a hatchery snipe. Clem is outplaying REYNOR right now. REYNOR's going to need to dig deep. Lingbane Hydra there. He's trying to go into Hive Tech, but he's going to be doing it much later. The Hive has not quite started yet because he's so busy defending. Marines take out a Queen or two. Once again, not the worst thing, but oh, off creep. That's so much bio firepower. The Banelings can't quite get on top. That being said, the double stim. Oh, it's flank, flank, flank. Nice hot flank comes in. Does save most of the bio, though. Clem just says, lol, get out of jail scot-free. He's 9,000 resources ahead in the units lost tab. He's going to drop here a bit of a flanking force. Not a great idea. Not a great idea. Get out of there, bro. Oh my god. He's flying in range of the Hydras. Oh, he's lucky he didn't lose a full medevac there. Clem being a bit dangerous. Liberator's being added in. 3-3 is done for him against 2-1-2 for Zerg. Lurker down and Hive are on the way. So REYNOR's going to try and come back with Lurkers, but these are late Lurkers. And I would argue normally at this stage of the game, your opponent would have too many tanks, Liberators, Ghosts. But it's Clem. He's been very aggressive. He's got a good Ghost count. But remember, he plays Biomine Ghost. He doesn't build tanks. He doesn't have the counter that easily, the unit that easily counters the Lurkers. Oh, ambush in the middle. A lot of those Widow Mines are going to fire, but they don't get that big hits. Another decent spready there. So a bunch of the Widow Mines get defused. There was a good Widow Mine. REYNOR does have to fall back. Setting off all the Widow Mines is great if you can then jump on top and kill a bunch of stuff. But look at that. Hydras and Banelings getting sniped on the way out. 2 Hydras, in fact. And he's got 3 Infestors and Burrow on the way. REYNOR's realizing he needs to just play that next stage of the game. Clem, he's got such a good setup now. How many orbitals? Not many. He's not got many orbitals at all. Only 4? Okay. Clem's not really careening ahead in the economy. He's maxed out now, though, so as he starts floating money, we will see double starport, extra command center transition, all that stuff. Looks like a Liberator came in, got a Hydralisk kill before getting cleaned up. 78 workers for REYNOR. He's going to build 5 more. He doesn't have a lot of money to dig into, which means he needs to take a good fight. Taking a good fight against Clem. That's pretty rare, guys. That's pretty rare. Because, like, normally a good fight for Zerg is a bit different. This is like, no, he needs to be a cost-efficient fight. He's down 8,000 resources in the units lost. Clem's been more efficient all game. Clem's playing Terran. Clem has Ghosts, Mines. He's very good with his micro. And REYNOR has no bank to call on. Normally, you've got an extra 4,000 or 5,000 resources in the bank. He doesn't have that. Infestor's going to get scanned, I think. Oh, no scan. There's an Infestor behind this. Could maybe work. No Banelings nearby. Infestor gets a Fungal. Few Banelings get some good hits, but a lot of the units do get saved. So I think overall, revealing your Infestors there, Clem should now be a little bit more careful. I was talking to Clem just the other day, and I was like, surely you just build a Raven on big maps like this. And he said, oh, you know, if you're only on 1 starport, you really can't do it. And I said, yeah, but if you're in late game and you have 3 starports, 1 should always be on a tech lab. And he was like, yeah, you know, maybe, like, you know, it is hard to micro, though, because it's much slower than, like, you know, a speed overseer or something like that. It's hard to keep with your army. Can't be everywhere at once. I still believe in the random turrets, but he's going to be careful. There's 2 Infestors tracking this army right now. This could turn very south. That Widow Mine in the north might protect him from the Infestors, though. He scans. Great understanding there. He realized that scan needed to be happening. There's still 1 Infestor behind. There are Widow Mines nearby. Widow Mine's getting some big, juicy hits. And REYNOR just can't quite get the fight that he needs. Beautiful positioning by Clem. Advanced Ballistics is on the way. Building armor, high sec, auto tracking, sniping the Overseers. No Nidus Worm Lurker for you. There's only 1 Infestor on the map. Remember that Maru Serral game? He kept replacing the Infestors before they even died. He always had backup Infestors. And REYNOR's only just started rebuilding those 2 Infestors. And, oh, that Widow Mine gets a pretty good hit. I mean, he's going to catch some medevacs. Oh, great Fungal in the middle of the map. That's a good Fungal. And he's killing a lot of medevacs. Clem he didn't micro his medevacs properly. He just lost a lot of units. That was a big mistake. Let's see if REYNOR can capitalize right now. Nidus Worm on the front lines. Bio's going to come straight back out. 9 Marines, 3 Ghosts, 2 Liberators are building, as well as 3 Widow Mines at a time. Looks like he's trying to reinforce some Lurkers on the front. I like the scans being used. What's he up to? 5 orbital command centers, though. No Iron Bank complete just yet for Clem. He's still got to be a little careful with how many scans he uses, especially once those Lurkers are out. Nidus Worm in the top. That's in vision of the Widow Mine, so he's aware of it. Double Lib in the south is a good way to drag your opponent's attention away. Going to try and siege on the right side of that base. Does take a few hits from the Queen and the Spore while he's moving into position. Spore Crawler will move forward and start working on those. Oh, Lurker's getting some good hits. Nice hits from those Lurkers. Clem, though, I think he lost 2 Ghosts. Not too many other units. Liberator, one goes down, second one will unsiege. He's going to siege around that left side now, realizing there's another base there. Bigling Bane army out of the map. This still feels good for Clem. Similar bank. He's getting 2 more command centers. He's on 6 orbitals now. He's going to be making the Iron Bank very shortly. He's ready for the Nidus in the main. There are changelings in the back of his base. Hopefully he realizes how to stop that, but we're getting to that point where the map, which is meant to start really well for Zerg, is now gotten to the point where Clem looks kind of unbreakable. And Reynor's going to need to show he's got some really good understanding. But look, there's a pack of Bio, Mine, Ghost, and a Planetary. Even with his whole army against this small Terran army, he's like, that's going to be so inefficient. He's afraid of pushing in there. He's trying to distract and scare him, but another Nidus Worm in the main. You got to get rid of those changelings, Clem. The changelings are always like the most annoying thing. There's still one changeling on that right side. Nidus Worm should go down. He's going to attack. Oh, Clem wasn't looking. Clem was not looking that time. Baneling's going to go after the Planetary. Goes into the Mineral Line so he can try and take out the repairing SCVs as well. But good spread from Clem. Loses 12, 14 SCVs. Hydra's coming in. He's going to try and take out the Libs. Reynor decides, hey, you're not actually responding with other units. I might as well do more. Banelings, if they get on those SCVs, could get some big juicy hits. Good spreadies at the last second for Clem, saving a lot of them, but 21 workers do go down. New Nidus Worm in the main base. There's already a Liberator there. He's going to pop Lurkers out nonetheless. Widowmine takes out one of those 2 Lurkers, do burrow in the south. Oh no, Reynor overstayed. He overstayed. The Ghosts come down. All the Hydras get sniped. Oh, he gets pushed back from the south. New command center is there. Both sides are out of money, and that's usually very bad for the Zerg. I mean, right now, Clem is up 30 army supply. He just needs to basically get rid of this Lurker, reestablish this Planetary, and he's fine. But he's going to counterattack. The Mad Lad is counterattacking. There is no need for him to counterattack right here. The Widowmine does get a good shot off, but he's going to pull back now with that. Oh, there's a Full Energy Infestor! There's a Full Energy Infestor! It unburrows, it fungals! One more fungal would be massive! He gets another fungal! The MP is too late! The MP is too late! The full Medivacs get shot down! 4 Medivacs go down, and that is a massive army supply swing from up 20, 30 army supply to even. And remember, most of that's up in his production, just popping out of his barracks right now. Most of the Zerg army is already here on the front lines. Hydras go after the Libs. Lings are going to take out the Planetary. Even with Neo Steel armor, it's not going to be able to survive on its own. Even with that Ibex cannon blasting a few of those Zerglings. That's such an important base. Without that, his gold's out. This base is fresh, but the other bases are low, which means Clem's basically back to 1 base mining. He's got to float another orbital out. He's got to win this next fight. He has to regain control, but look at that. Lib gets F2'd home. A lot of his Widow Mines are scattered around the maps. They're not here right now on this south side. He doesn't have the critical mass of Bio to deal with this big army of Lingbane either. The Lings just jumping on top. The Hydra's taking out the Libs. This is really nice opportunistic strike from Reynor. Clem counterattacking on that south side, getting caught on the retreat by the Infestor. And that was a big mistake for Clem and a great opportunistic snatch for Reynor. If Reynor didn't keep that Infestor alive, he would not have been able to have this opportunity. And he steals a game from Clem. I gotta check that again. That was wild. Let's go back and check the final fight. Counterattack there, right? First of all. So this is where he defends. He's floating a new base over. He'll make a new Planetary. 55 workers might not seem by that much, but I think it's fine. Even though the Lurks in the main did a great job of distracting, but counterattacking here was just so unnecessary. Oh, because look at this. He's so out of army supply. They're both out of money. Very similar supplies. And Reynor has a fresh base here, for sure. He's got like quite a lot of minerals he can still mine, but that's still his side of the map. If you slowly mine this map base, then you move to this base, and you eventually move to this base. I mean, Reynor's never going to be able to mine that base out. You can so easily deny that with like Liberator harass and stuff. And he's being way less efficient. You're 14,000 resources more efficient, so there was no urgency needed. He just needed to chill out. On the other hand, how often is there still an Infestor alive? Well, I'd say if you're playing Serral, every single time Serral's still going to catch you with an Infestor for this, or a Viper. Reynor, we're less used to him keeping those reserve Infestors around. But this was really well done. And I don't know, can you unload even? I don't even know if you can unload while you're fungled. Because I know you can't like unsiege or siege while fungled. But man, that's just such a delicious trade. So well done. I also want to check the build order at the start, guys. Remember, so Reynor goes 15 Extractor Trick, or 14, doesn't Extractor Trick up to 15. He's then going to go 15 Spawning Pool, 30 seconds. And he goes 14 Hatchery. And if it goes down at 48 seconds, it looks exactly like a 16 Hatchery. Okay, it's not exactly 48 seconds. It's closer to like 51. Close enough. Terran's not going to be able to tell the difference normally. It's a big map, so the hatchery should be finished, I believe, when that barracks SCV arrives. I think it might have just barely not been finished. Let's take a look at this. Technically, there is a tell. It's like the narrowest tell ever. But no, I mean, he sees it finished, and you don't really know. The creep spreads a little bit randomly, so it might have spread a bit more on the back than the front. Figuring out a 3-second difference is nearly impossible. This was a perfectly disguised opening, and that's why the Reaper came forwards on the map, because he thinks, oh, it's a 16 hatchery opening. Let's go, send the Reaper forwards, we're fine. And the Reaper moves out, the Lings are there, he just goes straight across the map. And even though Clem ended up in a good spot in this game, you could just see that he had to get through a lot of stages of REYNOR throwing BS at him. That was really cool. I just like that REYNOR's throwing Clem off his game. I think I've always said if you let Clem just play his game, he's one of the scariest players in the world. But if you do a lot of clever little backstabs and counterattacks, it's easy to just get him out of his element. And REYNOR did that really well. He's up 2-0. Let's go to game 3. Well, he started the series with a nice timing attack with the Ravagers. He's followed up with a very good macro game. I honestly thought REYNOR was in a bad spot here. But yeah, getting that you know, a few good engagements, a few nice fungals, and then that final fungal on the Metavax. Clem, it's just a bit unnecessary being counterattacking at that stage, you know, but Clem's MO is always attack if you think there's any chance to attack. The Burrowed Infester really punished him for that, and you got to be wary of that. Once you get to the later stages, there's Vipers with Abducts or Parasitic Bombs, there's Infestors with Fungals, which rarely kill Metavax, but if they can slow them down enough for the Hydras to get on top of them, no dead space to get to or anything like that, you do get punished. So Clem is going to find himself down 0-2, and I actually kind of like this because I actually think Clem's the favorite in this series. I think REYNOR's played very intelligently so far. That being said, Clem is more willing to play late game, and as long as he stays confident here, I think he's still a big favorite here on hard lead and to potentially even reversal the entire series. I think it's going to be hard for REYNOR as a guy who simply does not smoothly go to Hive Tech to win this. I mean, he pulled off some great engagements, some great tactics. He also played proper annoying. I loved all the run-bys in that last game. That was real fantastic. But we'll see if he can continue that. Reaper's on the way. Perfectly timed Reaper, actually. That started 7 seconds. Yeah, that Reaper's going to pop at like 157 even. That's a very quick Reaper. SCV Scout to be safe. Clem doesn't want any more disruptions. Remember, it was 8 Zerglings last game. Into Ling run-bys, into Baneling Ling trying to bust into the natural. REYNOR trying to hide there. He's going to go take the third. That does delay his queen in the main. So basically, REYNOR's saying, I don't want my third to get blocked. So he's immediately popped that down. Queen, 4 Zerglings, delaying the queen in the main. That's interesting. Tells us that Clem's been very annoying with his hatchery blocks recently, and REYNOR is like, let's not deal with that. Apparently, Roddy did a bet if REYNOR could even take 2 maps against Clem. Oh. I mean, there was a couple of 3-1s a few weeks ago, where Clem did take REYNOR down. But REYNOR's working pretty hard. Said he's trying to train like 3 to 4 hours a day. I think that's really smart because he knows he doesn't want to get burnt out. He wants just good, consistent, focused practice every day, but balanced with lifestyle and gym and exercise and all that other stuff, you know, that he struggled so hard with, where over the last year it was more like do nothing but socializing and don't practice for months at a time, then do nothing but practice for months at a time. And he was burning himself out because when he was practicing, he was like, well, I'm just practicing and I have to win everything. And there was so much expectation he was putting on his shoulders. And it's really the player who's slowly practicing every single day and enjoying that practice over a long period who is going to build up better results over time. And that's been Clem over the last year. Oh, good pullback on the Zerglings, though, by REYNOR. Nicely done. I like the way REYNOR's playing so far. Reaper unable to get any kills there. Clem's Reaper is very annoying. It's famously annoying, but doesn't find any damage. So, REYNOR is up on a fully saturated natural in just a second with his next few drones coming out. He's going to saturate this third in the near future. Very mineral-focused build, and he's just now rallying back onto gas. About 3 minutes 40, his gas will be fully saturated. Third command center comes up for Clem in the main base. Looks like he's gone the quick second gas, and it is indeed going to be a Banshee into Cloak with Hellions, about as solid as you can do. Now, interestingly, he's building more Marines, which are good for denying Overlord Scouts, but they're also good if your opponent surprises you with a big attack. If you have 4 Marines you can throw into a bunker, that's great. I mean, I think anyone who's played enough Terran, especially if they're playing heavy on the Hellions or a mech build, we've all in that position. We've been in that position where, like, you get pushed, you see it coming, you build 2 bunkers, and it arrives and you go, haha, I have 2 bunkers. Then you realize you have, like, 1 Marine and 1 Reaper. So the bunkers don't really do anything except try and distract your opponents because there's just no damage coming out of them. So Getting an extra Marine or two just makes you a little safer, as well as denying scouting. Lair on the way for Reynor very early. It's a Mutalisk build. I think. I can't imagine this being anything other than Mutalisk. There's like a 4-minute 15 lair. It's a very early lair. No second gas yet, though. What's going on? I guess it's just to counter the Banshees. Does he know it's Banshees? Just predicting. I think he's just predicting that it's Banshees. He's building Spore Crawler in each base. He's going Lair just to get the Overseer out for detection. Oh, he does see the Banshee on the right side. There we go. Pushes it back for now. Cloak's almost done. Second and third barracks into double engineering bay for Clem. Very standard follow-up. And he's going to start a fourth and fifth barracks quite early here as well. I think Clem accidentally pulled off gas in his main base. What is going on there, guys? He's only got one, or he never put on gas, maybe. It's a little sloppy. There we go. Does fix that up. Banshees and Hellions gathered on the front. 3 queens in the open. He's going to try and fight them, but the Hellions need to join in. If you want to fight that, you need the Hellion Reaper there as well, especially if you can bounce the queens so they miss some attacks. That's big, but Clem pulling back that Banshee just in time. 1 queen goes down. The Banshees are so heavily damaged, though. I mean, 1 queen and a couple Zerglings, loses a Hellion, almost loses the Banshee. I think Reynor is completely happy with that. He's got 9 queens left. And double Evo Roach Warren. Okay, so he's going to play... I'm thinking. I'm squinting at my screen right now and kind of tilting my head to the side. I'm like, I am meant to be commentating this. I would have... My first instinct is it's going to be just melee Carapace. And he's just going to get, like, 6 to 10 roaches with like mostly morph them into Ravages just to help him get through the early game. But no, it is actually +1 range. And I think if you're going +1 range at this moment, but then he starts a Baneling Nest. Wait, he does it in Vision of the Scan. That's a troll. That's a troll Baneling Nest. He's gonna either cancel it. Yeah, he's gonna cancel it. He's actually playing. I was like, nah, if he's going 1/1 range this late, he's 100% gonna go Infestation Pit Hive as well. Why is he's building a Spore there, guys? I think that's meant to be an Infestation Pit and he pressed the wrong button. Right? Why would you be putting a Spore Crawler there? That doesn't make any sense. I think he thinks it's an Infestation. I could be wrong, but we'll see what's happening. Mass Roach on the way, Roach speed. The Overlord speed makes me wonder if he's just going to put some queens in a taxi or make an Overlord highway and just try to kill him with a 1/1 timing. He could hit a max out at 8 minutes. It's Widowmine production. Clem is being tricked right now. And that's such a late Baneling Nest. I think that should be a tell that it's at least a Roach opening. Clem should be building siege tanks at least out of one of his factories, but he's not. Reynor's hidden this really well. Reynor is being a sneaky boy. Tech Lab building on the second factory, but it's exposed out front. Dude, I really feel like Reynor is just going to look for the kill here because he's not droning. His 4th base is bare of workers. And Clem right now is just thinking, oh, I'll do some biomine. We'll do some harassment on both sides. But he doesn't realize that Reynor is barreling down on the front, ready to kill him. And look at this. Reynor is going to come in, intercept this rally from behind, already kill a bunch of these Marines. The Queens do get jumped on, which is not the greatest for Reynor, but I think it's fine because the Widow Mines are killing Queens, which aren't the units that are most important. On the left side, he defends as well. Reynor's going to immediately shove in. He's already got Roaches in on top of the 3rd base. This is a disaster for Clem. Reynor has mind-gamed him hardcore. He literally built a Baneling Nest reactively underneath his scan in order to trick Clem, and it worked. Clem drops a Mule there to temporarily block the Roaches getting in. That's actually really cute. I wouldn't have minded Reynor killing that depot just to open this up a little bit more. He's going to try and shove up the ramp. I don't think that's going to work, not with this number of units, but he could use Corrosive Bile very nicely. He could split some Roaches into that natural mineral line, pick off those guys as well. Is that me lagging? I hope not. Someone's lagging. Cosmos! No! I think it's fine. I think Clem's pretty much dead here, guys, even though he's building 2 tanks. One's going to pop out at the 3rd. The one in the main will help stabilize. And Clem has a... Did he lose his 3rd command center? Or is it floating here? Oh, no, it's floating here. He does have 4 command centers, but he's losing so many SCVs. Bile's landing on the Marines big time. And that is going to break him. There's just too many Roaches and Ravages. Equal upgrades on both sides. The SCVs being forced to tank, which never feels good. The tanks rallying out from behind. And Reynor takes an excellent engagement, clearing so many of these units. Biles across the front line, takes out 2 more Marines. The Ravagers still standing their ground and continuing to fight. That 1 tank pulls back, will siege on the high ground. Roach Ravager continuing forwards to try to take down as many of these Marines and SCVs as possible. The Siege Tank, yes, it's killing the Roaches, but it's also doing massive amounts of friendly fire. He even drops Queens on top as well. REYNOR having a party in Clem's base. And Clem, of course, only mining off of the main and the natural right now while this is happening. REYNOR is on 3 full bases. He contaminated the factory as well, bringing out all the stops to finish off Clem. With the Siege Tank going down on the right side to those Roaches with the Overlord spotting and the Queens, of course, on the high ground. That's going to be that. REYNOR with a decisive 3-0, a trouncing of the Clem. The Clem that has been 3-1ing him. An amazing kind of comeback and fight back in Game 2. And a very decisive Game 1 and Game 3 to take a clean victory. REYNOR there really digging into his bag of tricks and showing some excellent Zerg vs. Terran.